Okay, let's dive right in. We're going to talk about something called the integrity reset. Now, that might sound a little serious, but trust me, this is actually a powerful health topic. It could be the very key to finally calming your mind and getting a truly good night's sleep. You know the feeling, right? It's the middle of the night, the room is dark, your body is exhausted, but your mind is just on. It's replaying the entire day like some kind of courtroom drama. That awkward comment you laughed at but didn't really find funny, that promise you made when you knew you were already overcommitted, or maybe that moment you just stayed silent because, well, it was easier.
Well, it turns out a lot of that stress isn't really caused by what happens to us, it's caused by what happens inside of us, when our actions just don't line up with our values. So we're going to break down exactly why that happens, and more importantly, how a really simple nightly reset can quiet that 3 a.m. brain chatter for good.
So, what is actually going on here? Why does this kind of inner conflict keep our brains buzzing when all we want to do is sleep?
Okay, the first thing you have to understand is this. Your nervous system is always listening. It's like a 24/7 surveillance system, constantly scanning your world, both inside and out, asking one fundamental question over and over again. Am I safe?
And here's the crucial point. For your brain, safety isn't just about, avoiding a tiger. It's also about what we can call inner consistency. That's just a fancy way of saying that feeling of harmony when your private thoughts, the words you say out loud, and the things you actually do are all singing the same tune. And you can see how this creates two totally different paths. When there's that inner alignment, when your words actually match your actions, your brain registers safe and your nervous system gets the green light to relax. But when there's inner conflict, your brain goes on high alert. Your whole system stays vigilant, constantly scanning for threats, even when you're just lying in bed trying to sleep. This is such a great way to think about it. This chronic inner conflict is exactly like having way too many apps running in the background of your mind. Sure, you can still function, but the whole system overheats, your energy drains way faster, and eventually you're going to start seeing some weird glitches pop up.
And what do those glitches look like in real life? Well, it's that feeling of being way more irritable for no good reason. It's that physical tension you carry in your shoulders and your jaw. It's, of course, waking up at night with a racing mind. And it's reaching for those quick comforts, like scrolling on your phone or grabbing a snack, a little more often than you'd like. These are not random problems. They are signals from a system that's under a whole lot of stress.
Let's just pause here for a second. I want you to really honestly think about this question. That little feeling you get in your chest just imagining it, whether it's a sense of pride or maybe a little flicker of anxiety, that is your internal compass talking. And this whole reset is about finally learning to listen to it.
So, how do we start listening? Well, the first big principle is about actively choosing your own internal alignment over that constant need for external approval.
It is so easy to fall into the trap of what you could call comfortable pretending. Saying the safe thing, pleasing the right people. It might even work for a while, but it always comes with that hidden cost. Your nervous system is left in a constant state of survival mode, always scanning faces and calculating responses. That is not a relaxed state. And this is a quote worth remembering. Your nervous system doesn't accept bribes, not even in the form of compliments or social media likes. Trying to get universal approval is a recipe for exhaustion, not for health. So the practical way to start is with small daily acts of what you might call honest discomfort. Look, these aren't big dramatic confrontations. They're simple, firm, and respectful phrases, just like the ones you see here. And yeah, using them might feel a little uncomfortable at first. That's kind of the point. Because every single time you do it, you're sending a brand new message to your nervous system. That little rush of relief you feel right after you say it, that's your body learning a new lesson. Hey, I can be honest, I can hold my ground, and I will still be safe. Okay, let's move on to our second principle, and you'll see how this builds on the first one. This is all about choosing a steady, sustainable pace over those frantic, short-term wins. Our culture pretty much worships speed, right? Quick results, fast growth. But that fast living creates these huge, jagged stress spikes inside of us. Our bodies, on the other hand, thrive on a much steadier rhythm. Consistent sleep, steady movement, regular meals. That is where true resilience is actually built. So how do you actually do it? The key is to pick one health habit and make it boring. Seriously, not heroic, just consistent. A simple 10-minute walk, the same bedtime window every night. Or you could try a 24-hour reduction. For just one day, subtract one meeting, one complaint, or one endless scroll session. When you stop trying to win the day and you start trying to steady the day, your body really thanks you for it. Here's another one of those gut check questions for you. Imagine your mind has a little dashboard. Is the needle always pointing to not yet? Or does it ever rest on enough? When your mind is always in a state of scarcity, needing more status, more praise, more control, it just activates that very same stress loop we've been talking about this whole time.
Okay, let's bring all this together with the most practical tool of all. This is something you can literally start using tonight to put all these ideas into practice. The 2-question nightly reset.
Before you go to sleep, just quietly ask yourself this first question. Name one moment, it can be tiny, where your actions actually matched your values. Maybe you chose one of those honest discomforts, or you stuck to a steady habit. This reinforces the positive pattern and reminds your brain what real safety feels like.
Now, the second question is all about course correction, and the key word here is repair, not punishment. A repair can be super small. A quick apology, a decision to set a boundary tomorrow, or even just a mental note not to repeat a pattern. It's about moving forward, not beating yourself up. And the reason this is so incredibly effective is actually simple. Your brain hates open loops. It can't stand those unresolved moments from the day. By identifying a moment of misalignment and then planning a repair, you are effectively closing that mental tab. See, closed loops become rest. Open loops become those 3 a.m. replays. So how do you actually put this into practice? Here's a simple 7-day plan. On day 1, you just try one act of honest discomfort. Day 2, you focus on one boring health habit. Day 3, you subtract one thing, like we talked about. You can see how each day builds on these concepts, adding these small, positive actions. This is not about a personality overhaul. It's just about building a steadier, more aligned pattern, one small step at a time. Let's just end with this. Imagine it for a moment. Imagine waking up tomorrow feeling lighter because you're carrying fewer of those little invisible debts to yourself. How would your shoulders feel? How would you speak to the people you love? That feeling, it isn't just a fantasy. It's health. It's what it feels like when your nervous system can finally, truly exhale.